Top 10 Biggest Old Hollywood Scandals. Scandals can be traced all the way back to Old Hollywood. For this list, we'll be looking at reported facts and stories that suggest that while this was Hollywood's golden age, behind the scenes, it was anything but. Our countdown includes Clark Gable's secret love child, fatal working conditions, MGM's treatment of Judy Garland, and more. Number 10. The way Talula Bankhead lived her life. We would all be keeping up with Bankhead as the celebrity if she were still alive today. Her personal life attracted a lot of attention, particularly because of how openly she discussed sex and sexuality. The actress reportedly once accepted a film role solely to fling with actor Gary Cooper and boasted of having numerous male and female partners. Bankhead had a hysterectomy at the age of 31 after having 4 abortions. Her supposed relationships with male Eton students were also looked into by the MI5. She also talked very openly about using drugs. It's important to remember that the actress was born into a well-known Alabama political family. She caused a lot of ruffles, but she didn't care because she was too busy enjoying her best life. Number 9. Lana Turner's daughter shot her boyfriend. Additionally, in 1958, Cherry Crane, the 14-year-old daughter of actress Lana Turner, killed mobster Johnny Stompanato by stabbing him to death in an attempt to save her mother. The first Dirty John, claiming to have stood up for her mother against Stompanato's threats to kill her. A verdict of justifiable homicide cleared Crane. Number 8. Peg Entwistle Hollywood sign girl struggled with the pressures of Hollywood. A woman went hiking close to the well-known Hollywood sign in September of 1932. She found a shoe, a jacket, and a purse with a note inside. Sadly, she soon discovered British actress Peg Entwistle, the deceased owner of the items, farther down the mountain. Originally from New York City, Entwistle moved to Los Angeles after landing parts in 2 plays, Ronnie Brent's The Mad Hopes and 13 Women, the latter of which was her posthumous feature debut. Entwistle informed her living uncle that she was heading to the pharmacy and then meeting some friends shortly after learning that RKO would not be extending her contract. Rather, she took a climb up the Hollywood sign and met a tragic end. After that, she was dubbed the Hollywood Sign Girl by tabloids. Number 7. The mysterious death of Natalie Wood. The biggest mystery and scandal in Tinseltown history is most likely the death of Hollywood icon Natalie Wood in 1981. At the age of 43, Wood drowned under mysterious circumstances while on a boat ride with fellow actor Christopher Walken, who she may or may not have been having an affair with, and her husband, actor Robert Wagner, who was obviously twice her age and whom she married twice in 1957 and 1972. It's partially because no one has ever been able to determine the precise cause of her death that makes it so unforgettable. After Wagner was implicated by the boat captain in 2011, the case was reopened after it had been initially determined to be an accidental drowning. However, no charges were ever brought, and the case was eventually closed. Wood's demise certificate was amended in 2012, citing the cause as drowning and other undetermined factors. Number 6. Roman Polanski's infamous death of second wife. The tragic murder of actress Sharon Tate by the Manson family in 1969 is a bizarre enough story for a movie starring Margot Robbie and Brad Pitt, 2019's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. However, Polanski was later involved in a dubious 1977 case involving the statutory rape of a 13-year-old girl that he drugged. He acknowledged having sex with the girl, but Polanski maintained that she was a willing subject. Polanski fled to Europe in February 1978, just as he was about to be sentenced because no sane person would believe that story. There have been multiple failed attempts at extradition, with the most recent one occurring in 2015. Thus the tale continues. And the stories just keep coming. Celebrities will continue to do what they do and support journalism as long as there are stunning individuals on our screens who are revered like royalty and as long as people are people. Number 5. William Randle Hursts' yacht party ends a tragedy. Thomas H. Ince, a well-known silent filmmaker in Hollywood, passed away in 1924 after going to William Randle Hursts' yacht party. His sudden death and its enigmatic circumstances gave rise to rumors. According to one account, Hurst thought that Marion Davies, his partner, was also associated with the legendary silent film star Charlie Chaplin. As an aside, she had allegedly been connected to Ince as well. Hurst planned to shoot Chaplin out of jealousy, but he chose the wrong man. Although we're sure the story sold a lot of newspapers, it's probably not true. The more plausible explanation is that Ince was ill, and maybe this wild partying night was too much for his frail heart to handle. Number 4. The mysterious circumstances of George Reeves' death. The Superman actor was fatally shot on June 16, 1959, according to LAPD reports. According to the official report, it was self-inflicted. Reeves apparently struggled personally while looking for work after hanging up his superhero cape. But a lot of people thought there was foul play, and some blamed his fiancée Leonore Lemon. After hearing the gunshot, Lemon and her guests reportedly waited 45 minutes before calling the police. According to actor Fred Crane, Lemon entered the room again and said, "Tell them I was down here." Another theory holds that Reeves, who is said to have had an affair with his wife, Toni Langer, was targeted for a hit by Hollywood mogul Eddie Mannix, but this mystery is still unsolved because there are no fingerprints on the weapon. Number 3. Charlie Chaplin's complex. Charlie Chaplin, the silent film actor, was busy courting women much younger than himself long before Leonardo DiCaprio was only dating models half his age. In all, he was married 4 times, and his wives were all, to put it mildly, quite young. At the age of 29, he wed Mildred Harris, a 16-year-old, in 1918. They separated by 1920. He then wed 16-year-old Lita Gray in 1924, a union that lasted just 3 years. In essence, these unions endured long enough for the partners to attain the status of legal adults. Horrible. Chaplin took a brief hiatus from marriage for the following 10 or so years. Then in 1936, despite being in his 40s, he married actress Paulette Goddard, who was at least in her 20s. That one didn't stick either. The 4th time was apparently the charm. In 1943, when Chaplin was 53, he married an 18-year-old named Ona O'Neill. She was a legal adult, so that was a step in the right direction, although the age gap had progressed substantially by this point. The man was old enough to be her grandfather. They stayed married until his death in 1977. If that isn't scandal enough for you, Chaplin was also banned from the US in 1952 due to communist leanings and did not return until 1972 to collect an honorary Oscar. Number 2. Elizabeth Taylor's love triangle. In the past, Elizabeth Taylor was known as the Scandal Queen. Taylor, who has been married 8 times, gained notoriety for many years when she started dating Debbie Reynolds' husband Eddie Fisher, also an actor, following the death of her 3rd husband in a plane accident in the late 1950s. Debbie Reynolds and Eddie Fisher were married for 5 years, during which time Fisher had an affair with Richard Burton, whom she would later marry twice and divorce. The couple had 2 children together, including Carrie Fisher from Star Wars. What a fiery love life. Even though the media initially demonized both Fisher and Taylor, only Fisher's career suffered as a result of this well-known incident. Following a fortuitous encounter on a cruise line, Taylor and Reynolds went on to become A-list celebrities and eventually reconciled in 1966. Number 1. The mysterious death of Jean Harlo's husband. Actress Jean Harlo had quite the life of scandal and intrigue before she passed away at the very young age of 26. I'm starting to notice a pattern here. Her first marriage, which started when she was just 16 years old, lasted for a mere 2 years. Then at the height of her career, at the age of 22, Harlo wed Paul Bern, a middle-aged German film executive. He was discovered dead from a possibly self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head 2 months later. And G&M studio executives were contacted before the police, and they remained there for 2 hours until the police came to look into the scene's remnants. Harlo was allegedly at her mother's house. Bern was already married to another woman when he exchanged vows with Harlo, adding to the surreal nature of the tale. 9 days after Bern's passing, Dorothy Nolet's body was discovered in the Sacramento River. She might or might not have visited Bern on the night of his death. She was a sanitarium resident at the time. These were a few of the most renowned historical Hollywood scandals that were nearly forgotten. Please share any additional items you have on your list with us in the comments section and subscribe to receive more similar content.